But you don't hold on to Ronaldo to sit on the bench. He's one of the greatest players ever. He had options. This idea that he'd no options is rubbish. He did have options, 4 or 5 very good options to keep him. OK, today the manager, he brought Martial in, who scored 2, so yeah, that's justified. But generally speaking, the bigger picture, he's not going to play Ronaldo. We know that. He's played in 1 or 2 European games. It's just going to get uglier as the season goes on. OK, Ronaldo's motivated with the World Cup coming up, and you hope. But if he's sitting on the bench for Man United week in, week out, it's not good. It's just going to get ugly. And I think United have shown nothing but disrespect to Ronaldo. They should have let him go when the opportunity came. And as I said, he did have options to go. I know that for a fact. And holding him onto him to sit on the bench, I think it's ridiculous for a player of his stature, Man United, to just keep... Even today, could he have brought him on? Of course he could have brought him on. So what if you're 4-0 down? You look at his goals record. He's as good a chance of anyone putting the ball in the back of the net. People are obsessed with the pressing side of the game. You put the ball in the right areas, he'll score goals.
They couldn't win now, United, could they? Well, if they would have sold...
But they brought other players on.
If they would have... No, but I'm talking about in terms of selling him. If they would have sold him, there would have been uproar at Man United.
Why? Not if he's not going to play.
Just because the injury to Martial...
Martial was always going to come back.
Early days, and you can't
I don't
really
agree,
go into
Mickey. No, I don't
You can't
agree.
go into a season with Rashford and Martial as your number 9 to... On a season by season, they did okay in some seasons, but consistency over the last couple of years.
They're going to keep him on the bench.
So what's in it for Manchester United then, to keep Cristiano Ronaldo, to keep paying his wages in order to make him sit on the bench?
I don't know.
Do you think it's a flexing of muscle, do you think?
Possibly so. And obviously there would have been, no doubt, probably an element of a transfer fee involved. But you respect the player. You make a deal happen that would suit all parties. No, I'm not saying the manager get rid of players and then he's shorted, but Martial was always going to be coming back. He wasn't going to be short. And Rashford started the season well. But you don't keep Ronaldo with his track record just to sit on the bench. I think it's disrespecting him 100%. Then the manager says, I don't put him on today because I didn't want to. So if that's in the manager's mindset, I'm not putting him on because I'm disrespecting him. You put players on the pitch you think might help you try and get back in the game, or listen, you're 4-0 obviously it's game over, but try and, get some sort of consolation, a couple of goals or whatever. But he's got to be... Ronaldo's not going to be playing that Europa League, and these players, and even United lost the first game with the Real Sociedad. You're not even sure if the other lads are up for it. But I guarantee they go to Liverpool, the next few games coming up, he'll be sitting on the bench. It's no good. If that's a young player learning his trade, it's okay. He's 37. And then if you're not prepared to put him on, no, I don't agree with it.
Do you think it'll be a distraction in the dressing room now?
Well, it could be. I think it will get ugly as the season goes on. Because Ronaldo, the most natural thing in the world is he's going to get frustrated. They're going to be in tomorrow. He's going to obviously have to train with the other lads, which is fine. That's the deal. But if it's clear that you're not really going to be starting, if everyone's fit, Ronaldo will not be starting games for Man United. If there's a few injuries, of course. But Ronaldo doesn't want to be sitting there going, I'm kind of waiting on a few injuries that I might get an opportunity.
That's the manager's fault then, if he didn't let him go. The manager's got to take that.
That's what I'm saying, but that's where the trouble might be ahead, because you start, again, disrespecting players like that. It's going to be trouble ahead, I think.
So World Cup, as you say, coming up in a few weeks, at the end of which we're almost into the January transfer window. What do you think happens there?
Oh, who knows, again. You cross that bridge and you get to it. But if he's not playing the games, then you'll have to revisit it in January, of course. But the next few months, of course, are going to be vital. But as I said, Ronaldo will be motivated, playing the odd game because of the World Cup, of course. And he'll be looking at his legacy and his brand and his pride. He wants to play. You could just see him in the warm-up today, and he's sitting on the bench. He'll be hurting badly, despite what he's won in the game. And he's won a few big prizes, let me tell you. But the great players and the top players want to play week in, week out. He did not come back to Manchester United to sit on the bench in a derby game.
But does this style of play suit the way they want to go? No, but it does.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, in terms of, you come to the Etihad, you know Man City are going to have the majority of the ball.
They got hammered anyway.
I know, yeah, but anyway. when you...
we talk about pressing, it's the new buzzword in football. Yeah. Pressing.
Yeah, but when you set up, you're thinking,
I don't care
how are we going to win this game? How are we going to win this
game?
game?
If he's going to get me 20, 25 goals. He was leading goal scorer last year for Man United. I don't think he was doing too much pressing then. Man United have lost 3 games already this season.
The rest of the team were down, though, overall, which maybe speaks to Micah's point, in that Ronaldo's numbers were great, but the rest of the team, perhaps, you could argue, would
that's their
suffer.
fault. That's their fault, not Ronaldo's. I've never had a problem playing with a striker who scored 20, 25 goals, ever. I don't care if they never ran back or they never even got hold of it. If I've got somebody scoring 20... We just looked at Aston Villa. We had a torch this afternoon looking at Aston Villa because their players couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But we're criticising Ronaldo because the only thing he does is score goals.
No, but there's more. There's more to the game.
Not for attacking players. Not for certain attacking players.
I've agreed with you on the Ronaldo. I've agreed with you on the Ronaldo.
You've got another players you can use.
I said Ronaldo should last season. He should be playing 100%. I was agreeing with you, but I'm saying the way the manager wants to set up now, coming to the Etihad on the counter attack.
But
was
was
it right?
They're 4-0 at half time.
But was it right
to start Ronaldo? Obviously not. They're 4-0 at half time.
Yeah, but you know that Man City are going to outpass you. They're going to outwork you.
Without Ronaldo.
So
Ronaldo.
The manager probably thought before the game,
well, he was wrong.
I'm going to play with high-intensity play.
Well, he was wrong.
And it didn't work. I agree with you.
Right.
But the results that Man United have been getting against Liverpool, against Arsenal, sitting in, counter-attacked, and he's played people with... who's going to press high and intensity. So he's coming to this game thinking, and he's the manager's going to get it right.
Man
United
haven't pressed before. Is this a new buzzword?
I'm not saying that it's a new word, but I'm saying this season playing that game on the counter attack with pressing and playing with people with urgency. I know. No, I agree with you. But I thought today's game.
Who was the leading goal scorer for Man United last year?
Ronaldo.
All right, brilliant.
And the point is that if he stays on the bench, as you say,
it will get
becomes
ugly.
a messy situation because
and deservedly so, because Man United had a chance to let him go and they held on to him knowing he was going to be sitting on the bench, not thinking, well, he might start 60-70% of the game, knowing he's going to be sitting on the bench for Man United. The player deserves more than that.